Please join us for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to this very special SAIS commencement. Last year, during our first virtual commencement, I remarked that I never imagined that the first graduation ceremony I would preside over as dean would be a virtual one. Now, I can honestly say that I never thought that my last ceremony as your dean would be virtual either, but here we are. And let me say that I'm delighted to have this opportunity to honor all of you, our graduates, and the incredibly hard work you've done at SAIS to get to this day. It goes without saying that we've all been through a great deal over the last year. Millions of people have been infected with coronavirus. Hundreds of thousands have lost their lives, and still countless others have fallen ill. For some of us, it has been a story of isolation and constraint. For others, grievous illness and even loss of loved ones. We'll be thinking about this pandemic and dealing with its outcomes for years to come. Certainly, we still have a way to go before life returns fully to normal, and normal itself may look a bit different. The fact that I am here in an empty Kenny Herter auditorium on our DC campus, instead of gathered in person together with all of you, is a reminder that the pandemic is not yet over. And yet, there's a buzz of students and faculty in the building today. We've been able to resume some in-person classes this semester, and gradually faculty and staff will be able to come back to work. The traffic along Massachusetts Avenue is picking up. Our favorite DuPont Circle coffee shops and restaurants are reopening. As spring sets in, we have even more reasons for hope. The arrival of vaccines has allowed many of us and will soon allow all of us, once again, to visit friends and hug loved ones. That precious moment is not far off. As students, you have endured the challenges of the last year and completed the requirements for your graduate degree, and that is worthy of celebration. It's graduation day at SAIS, and here we are gathered virtually to celebrate you. And what a special class this is. Today, we have over 600 graduates who represent the incredible vision that Paul Nitze and Christian Herter had over 76 years ago when they founded the school. Let me tell you a bit about this year's graduates. Our 2021 graduating class represents 62 countries, and it is that richness and diversity of place and history and experiences that they have brought with them to SAIS that makes this class so special. They have taken courses from what I deem to be the best faculty in international affairs, brilliant men and women who bring their best to the classroom to ensure the success of our students. A year ago in March, we made a sudden pivot to virtual instruction. Since then, we have dramatically improved the quality of that teaching and added online courses that truly, for the first time, gives us global reach. It has been no small feat for students, staff, or faculty. And speaking of the rigors of academic work, it's always tremendously impressive that even during the school year and in a time of pandemic, our students can still find time to contribute in a meaningful way to the world around them. One such student is Bemnet Tesfaye, who is graduating today with a master's in international economics and international development with a minor in strategic studies. Despite the rigors of her academic studies, faculty, staff, and fellow students have all observed how committed Bemnet has been to the SAIS community during her time with us. Anytime she was called upon, she eagerly rolled up her sleeves to help the SAIS admissions office, student affairs, and has moderated events with multiple organizations such as SAIS Global Women in Leadership. This year, she also co-founded the SAIS Black Student Union, along with fellow graduate Theo Guidry, which proved to be a very important and vocal group within our community, especially during the past year, as we navigated the impact of racial unrest and recommitted ourselves to our diversity and inclusion efforts. BevNet is also a Donald Payne USAID International Development Fellow, where she has spent a good portion of her time as a SAIS student working within AID's Monitoring, Evaluation, and Learning Unit. BevNet plans to work as a Foreign Service Officer after graduation. Another such student is Chenyu Wu, who is completing his master's in International Economics and Southeast Asia Studies. During the pandemic, Chenyu managed to complete not one, but two high-profile internships during his time at SAIS, both of which yielded work that will have real-world implications. One of those internships was at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, where Chenyu co-published a report on post-pandemic Indonesia-China economic relations. The other was at Bauer Group Asia, where he independently wrote the projection reports for 25 Asian markets. And the list goes on. These are only a few examples, but each of you who are graduating today have had incredible opportunities during your time at SAIS, and we hope that despite the challenges imposed by the pandemic, you have still found meaningful experiences and developed friendships that have enhanced your education and that will serve you well for years to come. The students I just mentioned, and all of you who are graduating today, together with our faculty, are what makes SAIS more important and relevant than ever. So welcome to Graduation Day. We're glad you're with us. And now, I'll turn it over to another dynamic student, Ms. Giselle Pavidano, who is graduating today with a master's in International Economics and African Studies. She will introduce our commencement speaker.
A woman of many firsts, carried with elegance and strength. Also, a Black African person of resilient first, filled with tenacity and grace. But these are merely parts of the story of the incredible person I am humbly honored to introduce to you today as the Johns Hopkins SAIS commencement speaker, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She was the first woman to serve as Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, first woman to be Nigeria's Minister of Finance, which she did twice. Now, she's the first woman and first African to be Director General of the World Trade Organization. Her life's work, which goes beyond her degrees from Harvard and MIT and titles from her 25-year career at the World Bank, reminds us all that merit is not bestowed, but earned. Dr. Okonjo-Iweala's historic appointment and future work are a call to action for us, the international relations field, and organizations working on foreign policy to practice, restructure, and reform our systems in order to become what we need to be for the 21st century. Her journey serves as a testament to generations of women, girls, Black, brown, and future first, that the world is ready and that we can do it. For everyone listening to this, I ask you please help me welcome the remarkable Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Thank you very much, Dean Cohen, for inviting me. Hello to the class of 2021. I'm honored and delighted to be part of your celebrations today. Let me start by congratulating the nearly 500 graduates, as well as your families, friends, and the faculty and staff. This virtual ceremony is probably not what you had in mind when you started at SAIS. I'm pretty sure Zoom classes and online study groups weren't either. Even outside of a pandemic, graduation can bring anxiety about jobs and the future. For many people, enforced distance from friends and family has been an added weight on mental well-being. TikTok challenges can only do so much to break the isolation. Missing out on campus life is not a small thing. I hope it is some consolation that your training in international studies and public policy will help place your own experiences in a wider context. My own education was interrupted when I was young, not by a pandemic, but by civil war in Nigeria. Many died from hunger and disease. My parents made clear to me from a very early age that education was a privilege, not a right, one that I must use for others, not just myself. It's a lesson I still think about. Over the past few years, you have worked hard to acquire skills you can use to make things better for other people. Whether you go on to work in government, the private sector, or civil society, the world urgently needs your ideas and your service. More than 3 million people have already lost their lives to COVID-19. Millions more have lost jobs and livelihoods. The number of new cases worldwide breaks records every day. After falling for decades, extreme poverty is again on the rise. The pandemic has highlighted both our interconnectedness and our inequalities. Last April, more than half the world's population was under some kind of lockdown order. We all felt and still feel vulnerable. The coronavirus and its emerging variants make clear that, as we all say, no one will be safe until everyone is safe. It reminds us that problems of the global commons are real, whether infectious disease or climate change. Tackling global problems and ideally preventing and containing them demands multilateral cooperation, facilitated by effective international institutions and backed by adequate financing. It requires action by national governments and the private sector, and it needs the involvement of people like you. While the pandemic is global, it has impacted people differently. Within countries and across them, it has deepened inequalities of every kind. Inequalities between workers who must risk their health every day and those who can work from home. Between students like you could go online when SAIS had to close and the 2/3 of the world's children and young people who are cut off from online education and the digital economy because they do not have internet access at home. Between women overrepresented in face-to-face service jobs and men who still do less than their fair share of unpaid care work at home. In America, Black and Latino people are respectively 1.9 and 2.3 times likelier to die from COVID-19 than their white fellow citizens, according to the Centers for Disease Control. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates that over the past year, 500,000 more women than men dropped out of the labor force. Within developing countries, women disproportionately work in the small businesses and informal jobs that saw the steepest income losses. Years of hard-fought economic and educational gains for women and girls are being rolled back. If we do not reverse this, the negative socioeconomic effects will reverberate for generations. At the international level, unequal access to scarce COVID-19 vaccines is driving a divergent economic recovery. Advanced economies are poised to emerge with little lasting economic damage, thanks to rapid vaccine rollout and massive fiscal and monetary support. Meanwhile, most emerging markets and developing economies face much larger output losses as they grapple with vaccine shortages, limited fiscal space, and in many cases, rising debt distress. Of the more than 900 million vaccine doses administered worldwide, 83% have gone to people in high and upper middle income countries. Low-income countries, which account for nearly 1/10 of the global population, have only had 0.3% of all doses thus far. How should we respond to these stark inequalities? By giving up in despair? Absolutely not. Jawaharlal Nehru, independent India's first prime minister, once said, and I quote, "Crises and deadlocks, when they occur, have at least this advantage, that they force us to think," unquote. Now is a time for thinking and for action. That's why at the WTO, we are working to use trade policy to help scale up COVID-19 vaccine production. We cannot accept a world in which the accident of where you were born determines when you get access to vaccines. Public service can be difficult, but it is profoundly rewarding when you're able to make a difference to people's lives. When I served as Nigeria's finance minister, my team and I were able to build a coalition of support for a successful economic reform program. This paved the way for us to negotiate with our Paris Club creditors. We ultimately got debt relief for Nigeria, and so $30 billion of debt that had been crippling the economy completely wiped out. Doing so freed up resources for infrastructure, health, and education, and helped attract new foreign investment. Another policy, the oil price-based fiscal rule policy, requiring the government to save money when oil prices were high, went on to help Nigeria save $22 billion, which it used to weather the 2008-2009 financial and economic crisis. Delivering these results for my country was a highlight of my career. But public service is not always easy and can be downright dangerous when part of what you're trying to do is to clean up corruption. In my book, Fighting Corruption is Dangerous, I detail threats to my life and that of my family. There were days when I wondered if service was worth it. But when I had a chance to sit back and assess, I decided, yes, I would do it again. In your careers, you will face difficulties. You'll have to stand up for yourself and stand up for what you believe in. You have to take risks now and again. Do these difficulties mean that public service is too tough and not worth it? Again, absolutely not. The reward is that feeling you get when you know you have helped someone. During my career, I've taken several risks. Well, considered risks. As the first woman and first Black person to be a manager in the Middle East region of the World Bank, as the first female finance and foreign minister in Nigeria. It was also a risk to leave a job I loved at the World Bank to go back to Nigeria for what everyone warned would be a thankless task. But it was worth it. And it was a risk last year to put myself forward as a candidate for DG of the WTO. I hope I'll be able to help WTO members deliver results as well. As you embark on this next stage in your lives, I urge you not to be shy or hesitant about the changes you want to see. As Barack Obama said, quote, cynicism has never won a war, or cured a disease, or started a business, or fed a young mind, or sent people into space. Cynicism is a choice. Hope is a better choice, unquote. And the Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, quote, change takes courage. You have the tools to make a difference. I urge you to be hopeful, to be courageous, to be passionate, to be principled, to go out into the world and make change. Congratulations once again to the class of 21. I salute you and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Dr. Akanjo-Iweala, for that wonderfully inspiring message. We're so grateful for your participation today. And thank you not only for those words, but for the example you set of openness, of good humor, and of courage. Dr. Akanjo-Iweala's life history and work remind us that high intelligence mean little without character and good judgment. I hope that has been one of the things that you have learned at SAIS from the example of external visitors, faculty, staff, and perhaps most of all, peers. I know it has been for me. In a world as filled with uncertainty as ours is, that may be one of the most important lessons this institution has to offer us.
It's my honor to recognize the Student Government Association for their dedication and hard work. I'd like to acknowledge the graduating members of this year's SGA. Maya Alaf, your student body president. Kimberly Jasmine, who served as vice president. Jacob La Rochelle, who was your treasurer. Hayden Hubbard, your SAIS Europe representative. Natalie Craig, the Hopkins Nanjing Center representative. Liam Masterson, the MIEF representative. Will Zhao, your social co-chair. And Aaron Zorman, your other social co-chair. Bold is how I would describe the SGA leadership this year. They were fierce advocates for the entire student body and for what was right. They represented you, the class of 2021, magnificently in dealing with all things, not only as it came to social events, but administrative challenges and ideas, as well as making sure we know exactly how you felt about things like bidding. But also, as we would expect from SAISers, they were engaged in world issues and addressing social injustices. It's been my privilege to serve as their advisor, and I want to express my deepest thanks to them for a job well done. I would now like to introduce you to someone that you're no doubt familiar with, a passionate and diligent leader, your student body president, Maya Alaf.
Welcome. To be honest, it feels surreal to be back in the Kenny Auditorium. I'll never forget that Wednesday evening after my trade exam last year when I celebrated afterward with SAIS friends because classes had been canceled. Little did I know that would be the last time I'd be in a SAIS building when it was open at full capacity. Looking back, I miss pretending to study with you all on the 8th floor library table. I miss catching up with you all in the NHTSA cafe. I miss trying not to get run over when crossing the street to Bob. I miss that the DC, Nanjing, and Bologna campuses didn't have a real chance to gather as one cohort together and learn from each other's experiences. But the more heartbreaking, I miss cookie hours. Most importantly, I wish I had known over a year ago that I would be saying goodbye to some of my closest friends, and that what was in store for us, our families, and the world would pose the greatest challenge of our generation. But here we are, me in the NHTSA building, alone, and you at home, thousands of miles apart, but united by this one common thread right at this moment. Despite all of this, I've made enough beautiful memories that I will forever cherish with you all for the years to come. Class of 2021, we've been through a lot. Our class will be defined by its resiliency. And I'm not just talking about how we've survived after eating a fridge burger from the NHTSA Cafe gas station before an 8 a.m. class. Over the last year, I did my best to hear you. And what I heard most was our shared experience of anger, confusion, loss, sadness, and disappointment, and rightfully so. I've been privileged to watch and help my peers battle injustice, sickness, and inaction, and be the forces for change in the world. There have been many frustrating moments, but I'm encouraged by the leaders I can call my peers. Leaders who fought tooth and nail for what is right. Our inspiration comes from those alumni before us. I came to SAIS because I realized that the leaders tackling the Syrian conflict, which was my inspiration to pursuing a career in policy, were in our very seats 20 or 30 years ago. So it's worth reiterating. We are the people who will change the world. As ambassadors, titans of industry, international economists, or even as SAIS professors. We will shape the conversation and add our note to this song called International Relations. At SAIS, global perspectives from every corner challenge our confined outlooks. If you were to take away one thing from your time at SAIS, I hope it's the discussions that brought upon conflicting viewpoints. When you're in the decision-making seat, I hope you think of the students you met during your late-night discussions in Rome or the Bologna and Nanjing student lounges. No matter how far you go, I hope that you always take with you an openness for challenges. But not only have our peers brought unique perspectives to the table, but they have become our greatest allies throughout our grad school journey and post-graduation. When I first moved to DC, my friends in other programs warned me that this is a dog-eat-dog world, and to be very wary of who I become close to. However, at SAIS, we truly are a family. We send each other job opportunities, help each other understand economics, and congratulate each other when someone may have gotten the same opportunity we were applying for. We each came to SAIS for different reasons. Some came to change the course of their career, some came to deepen their understanding of a field, and some came because they didn't know what they wanted to do. But that's okay, because SAIS has served as the place where we found our passions, discovered and rediscovered ourselves, and gained knowledge with the help of our peers and professors. SAIS allowed us to become closer to who we want to become as we embark on our careers. Before I conclude, I want to take a moment to thank our SGA advisors, the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, Noemi Rice, and Director of Student Life, Corey Baker, for standing with students and helping us navigate this challenging year. I would also like to thank the students and friends I met along the way who encouraged me and supported me during this time of character development for me. Class of 2021, it's been an honor leading and building this community of the world's emerging leaders as your SGA president. Congratulations to you and your loved ones, and I will see you soon.
It is now time to present the 2021 Founders Award, which is given to an individual who has provided extraordinary support to the school and who has made a significant contribution to its tradition of excellence. It is my great privilege to recognize Dean Elliot A. Cohen as the 2021 recipient of the Founders Award. He exemplifies the standards of the award. Since joining the school in 1990, Elliot has been an engaging and inspired teacher who has inspired generations of students to go on to succeed in their professional careers and to be impactful in those careers. But he is much more than a teacher. He is an impactful scholar, bringing a unique eye to many problems that face humanity today. In more than 3 decades of tireless commitment to the students, to the school, and to the wider university, Elliot Cohen has established himself as the quintessential ambassador of SAIS and of Johns Hopkins University. Elliot would have done enough for SAIS if he had only been a faculty member. But he has done even more as a leader within SAIS. As the 9th Dean of SAIS, Elliot has worked tirelessly to position the school to take full advantage of what I can honestly say is a new dawn that awaits it. In particular, the comprehensive revision of the curriculum, the first done on such a scale in many decades. I was not at all surprised to see that the Washingtonian magazine named Elliot as one of the 100 most influential people in Washington. This was a fitting tribute to his wide impact as an academic, a public intellectual, a practitioner, and a leader. It is a delight indeed to be able to celebrate Elliot's intellect, commitment, and passion to all things SAIS by giving him the Founders Award. Please join me in congratulating Elliot Cohen and thanking him for his unrivaled dedication to Johns Hopkins SAIS. Thank you.
Now it is my pleasure to present the Dean's Award for Exemplary Service. This year, the award goes to SAIS Library Director Sheila Thalheimer. Librarians are often those people who work behind the scenes to ensure the success of others, and Sheila is no exception. She's been at SAIS for 18 years, and it's hard to remember a time when she wasn't here. Prior to joining SAIS, she served as Assistant Library Director at U.S. News & World Report. She also served as a journalism librarian at Columbia University and a reference librarian at the University of Southern California's Gould School of Law. But it's the work that Sheila has done here at SAIS over the last year to ensure that our students and faculty have the library resources they needed, even in the midst of the pandemic, that really distinguishes her today. When COVID hit and campus closed, Sheila and her team had to figure out how to be a remote library. When few others could even gain access to the building, they came in and scanned hundreds of course readings and entire books that weren't available as ebooks. They ensured our students had access to the broader Johns Hopkins library system, and even created a contactless book pickup system in the NHTSA lobby so that students and faculty all had what they needed for their classes, papers, and research. Sheila tells me that her goal was simply to be a source of support and encouragement, to remind our students of their tenacity and talent, even in the midst of an otherwise challenging time. Students, faculty, and staff alike all recognize Sheila's collegial spirit, broad knowledge, and commitment to supporting our students and their studies. It's that level of dedication that really sets Sheila apart and makes it my honor to announce this award today.
What makes the SAIS experience so valuable alongside the peers you meet are the professors that enrich our understanding of the world for 2 years. It is now my pleasure to recognize a few members of our faculty. The SAIS Excellence in Teaching Award is a student-directed process that awards faculty across 5 categories that have demonstrated a continued commitment to inclusive teaching, innovation in the classroom, and improving student learning outcomes. It is my honor to be presenting these awards. The winner of the Teaching Prize for International Economics is Paul Pivotto. Professor Pivotto was nominated because he was able to effectively convey a mastery of microeconomics to his students in a way that was well organized, concise, and to the point. He also went out of his way to be helpful, responsive, and accessible to his students at all times. Professor Amini Sergini is awarded this year's Teaching Prize for Language Studies. Professor Sergini was nominated because not only does she encourage her students to be passionate about learning Arabic, she also encourages them to be the best they can be in and outside of the classroom. The Teaching Prize in Policy Studies goes to Professor Jonas Nam. Professor Nam was nominated because of his ability to transcend virtual learning into an experience where his students could continue to learn and engage in meaningful discussion. Professor Francisco Gonzalez is the winner of this year's Teaching Prize for Regional Studies. Professor Gonzalez was nominated because of his ability to bring a strong sense of community within his class, while providing his students with unwavering support, mentorship, and constructive feedback. The Teaching Prize for an Outstanding Adjunct Professor goes to Professor Charles A. Stevenson. Professor Stevenson was nominated because of his capacity to facilitate the success of his students and shape the next generation of foreign policy professionals. His expertise as a practitioner and educator have made him a valuable asset to his students and the SAIS community. Congratulations!
It is my honor to announce the winners of two of our esteemed student awards. First, we have the Christian A. Herder Award, which was established by the friends and associates of the school's co-founder, Christian A. Herder. This award for distinguished academic performance is presented in honor of the person whose vision and inspiration have encouraged generations of young people to perform effectively with skill and statesmanship in the international arena. The Herder Award is given to students in the second-year class with the highest grade point average for the first 3 semesters. This year, the winners of the Christian A. Herder Award goes to 4 of our students: Alicia George, Brad A. Bear, Olivia Negus, Alec Farris. Congratulations. While the Herder Award is given for scholarship, the most important component of the next award, the William C. Foster Award, is service to SAIS and the community. The certificate reads, "For sound scholarship and a record of leadership and distinguished service to SAIS, exemplary of the high qualities of integrity, loyalty, and ability admired by Mr. Foster." This prize honors the former director of the Arms Control and Disarmament Agency, distinguished businessman, tireless public servant, and devoted SAIS Advisory Council member. The students receiving the Foster Award were selected for significant contributions to SAIS and the community. The recipients of the Foster Award are Maya Alaf and Joshan Bajwa. Congratulations to all of our winners.
Fellow graduates, just to make us all more comfortable, I'll start this speech the way we started every Zoom class. My name is Anthony Rini, my concentration is American Foreign Policy, and one fun fact about me is that one time I had an internship/job/trip way cooler than anything anyone else here has ever done. By now, you all have probably heard enough commencement speeches to last you a lifetime. Speeches at SAIS, speeches after undergrad, speeches after high school, speeches on YouTube when you needed motivation in the middle of writing a paper, and all have the same theme. Your new degree represents unlimited freedom. Go forth and change the world. At a school for international relations, that last admonishment has that much more meaning because changing the world is what we all came here to learn how to do. But I always found speeches like that a little too vague. Change the world how? The question that is on all our minds now is, now that we've graduated, what are we supposed to do? Whether you went to SAIS here in DC or abroad in Bologna or Nanjing, everyone graduating today is leaving this school with an enormous amount of privilege. An advanced degree from one of the top schools in our chosen field is a great thing. It's an accomplishment we all should be proud of, and I congratulate each and every one of you. But now that we've achieved this great thing, we are called upon to decide what to do with our success. Too often, when people achieve success, they say, "I worked hard, I did my part, now I deserve my rewards." And they turn around and pull the ladder up behind them. They focus all of their energy on advancing as far as they can, as fast as they can, without once thinking about those around them. As a result, opportunities remain entrenched with the same people that have always had them, and the same people who have always been left out remain on the outside looking in. What I'm asking all of you today is to instead reach out and pull someone else up alongside you. As you advance, bring others with you. I'm asking that instead of using our degrees to help ourselves, we remember to use them to help everyone else. We can make voices heard that too often are overlooked, even if that means we ourselves talk less. We can make space for others to flourish, even if that means a little less space for ourselves. We can help other people, even if there isn't anything in it for us. I don't want us to think about these things in the abstract either. I'm not just saying that the global North should help the global South, although it should. A degree in international relations trains us to think big, but I'm asking you all to think small. What can we do after we graduate every day to make things better for the people around us? I'm talking about little things that everyone can do, but few actually put into practice. Things like making sure everyone is listened to in a meeting, sharing credit for your success with all those who helped you, and mentoring not just people who look like you, but people who don't. In short, I'm asking that as we go out into the world, we all be just and kind people, not only on a political level, but on a personal one as well. I know that reshaping the world order on the grand stage of international politics is the way many of us have envisioned ourselves using our degrees to make the world a better place, and some of us might actually do it. But let's be honest, that's a whole lot easier said than done. What I know we all definitely can do is create a more fair, equitable, and just community around ourselves everywhere we go. That, fellow graduates, is how we can change the world, one small act of kindness and justice at a time. Thank you, and once again, congratulations to everyone on graduating.
It is my great honor to welcome you, the graduates of 2021, as you take steps forward from the School of Advanced International Studies of the Johns Hopkins University into your next ventures. This is not how I hope to address you today, but as your Alumni Association president, I know that not only has your school prepared you for the challenges you have faced in your final year and will now face in the world, but that the university will continue to provide you with support, leads, and companionship as you move forward. It's important to note that while most of this year took place remotely, you continued to rise above all the challenges and succeed. That commitment and perseverance has paid off. And you're not alone. The Johns Hopkins Alumni Association is made up of 240,000 alums from all 9 divisions of Hopkins. Our goal is to celebrate the diversity of our community. Whether you're a SAIS grad in New York like me, a Krieger alum in Baltimore, or a Bloomberg alum in Nepal. Think of the JHU Alumni Association as a network of alumni that have shared personal and professional interests with you, whether they graduated from SAIS or another one of the school's divisions. More than ever, I would encourage you to stay connected in a virtual way for now, and in person when we can, through the Alumni Association's affinity and regional programs, and through Hopkins at Home. Those are your online sources for lectures, mini courses, live events, and lifelong learning activities. I would also encourage you to engage with OneHop at Johns Hopkins. There you can connect with and get advice from other alums to forward your career. You are joining an accomplished global network of alumni who reside in places all over the world across 6 continents. And while these are unusual times, your fellow alumni are here for you, whether or not we are in the same room, the same town, or the same country. Reach out, and we will move forward together. As I offer my congratulations to all of you and wish you the very best, I hope this will be the first of many opportunities where our paths will cross. And as you celebrate your achievements, remember, you will always be a Johns Hopkins graduate.
Class of 2021, it's now time to award your degrees, the moment you have worked so very hard for since you first applied to this school. Allow me to introduce Noemi Crespo-Rice, Assistant Dean of Student Affairs.
Thank you, Dean Cohen. Class of 2021, it is truly my honor alongside Adam Webb and Gabrielle Calabro to be part of today and to celebrate your accomplishments. We encourage you and your families to cheer loudly wherever you are as your name is announced.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Certificate in Chinese and American Studies. Yu Tingbao, Tristan Howard Chapman, Mo Chen, Chen Yue Chen, Ting Chen, Lin Deng, Connor Dunham, Yufei Fan, Liu Gao, Xinwei Guo, Shuman He, Yukai Hu, Keisuke Inada, Nicholas Lawrence Howard Kaufman, Di Li, Hongxia Li, Renhuo Li, Zhahong Liu, Yin Liu, Yuan Liu, Zhuoran Liu, Zhanchun Li, Liming Ma, Ria Menon, Rongting Niu, Bing Pang, Mo Puan Piu, Yue Qiu, Lin Xi Song, Yilin Su, Hai Fang Sun, Wei Yi Sun, Kento Tanaka, Selu Ofa Latukefu Tupo, Na Wang, Maxwell Stewart Wapple, Daniel Edward Wethley, Kaiwan Wu, Wei Wu, Zihan Xiao, Guimei Xu, Jingya Xu, Pei Xue, Ming Yan, Michael Brian Young Jr., Lian Zhenzhai, Zhao Jie Zhang, Li Jun Zhang, Li Wen Zhang, Xiaochen Zhang, Yan Zhang, Ziyan Zhang, Ran Zhao, Zigeng Zhao, Ai Jia Zhou, Zixuan Zhu. It is now my pleasure to present the candidates for the Master of Arts in International Studies. Austin Jeremy Babb, Amy Elizabeth Bodner, Phyllis Kyling Brown, Erica Carvel, Ying Chen, Jonathan Evans, Ziyang Fan, Yongrui Ge, Dylan Jagori, 慧金札、蕾蕾张、Jonah Kaplan、思源郎、陆离、孟香离、肖玉离、知离、James Lin、易中驴、赵浩梅、思然潘、严平桥、Freya Iris Quist、Lang Rao、Alexander Rosas、Foley James Simons、Ching Ching Song、William Donald Stockton、Jia Chun Sun、乐孙、欣然孙、James Lucas Willey、Joseph Patrick Wojciechowski、李转武、冉谢、司杰谢、李信、慈徐、林彦徐、郝宇章、紧张、张立洲、锦州、酉阳州。
It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Master of Arts in International Affairs. Gude Abele, Lauren Ann Brennan, Peter Brown, Ruan El Malawani, Nicholas John Gerard, Arletis Gomez, Michael Hall, Pablo Ivankovich, Minu Joe, Emma Johnson Weiss, Courtney Alexis Keys, Jelani Fundi Lejean, Sneha Mahapatra, Amber Malone, Lorenzo Marchetti, Afag Mulazadeh, Williams Eniche Noah, Thomas Rave, Crystal Ann Siegel, Julian Strant, Itaru Sego, Hannah Schwiering, Judita Toscani, Torstein Treeland, Simone Weckenrieder, Larissa Wiegelmann, Nicholas Voifram, Jungsong Chao. It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Master of Arts in Global Risk. Isabella Barcelona, Winyo Chen, Matthew Clark, Madeline Holloway, Eliza Hunt, Edward Lee, Moritz Lutkeroth, Trevor Samuel Odom, Nicholas Steinwand, Charles Zach. It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Master of Arts in European Public Policy. Andrea Bruno, Jared Kraft, Dante John Fecta, Eduardo Goldstein, Aaron O'Leary Jones, Lasse Luque, Sarah Famida Rahman, Athanasios Theophanakis. It is my pleasure to now present the candidate for the Master of International Public Policy. Benjamin Novak.
It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Master of Arts. Joan Abbott, Xavier Adams, Chloe Estelle Adcock, Atinuke Adigun, Jesse Adler, Sharik Ahmud, Maihan Alikhail, Maya Alaf, Amal Altwaijiri, Sam Aman, Haley Anderson, Faraz Ansari, Maria Trixia Pai Munoz Apiado, Ihan Bey, Yushu Bai, Akanksha Bedja, Nicholas English Bailey, Jashan Bajwa, Kenneth Barragan, Matthew Bauer, Shannon Beacom, Laura Becker, Benjamin Beecroft, Kirsten Faith Bejarano, Rachel Benenson, Corinne Bennett, Dmitry Berkoltsev, Tyler Bilbo, Bailey Jean Bischoff, Samuel Blumenthal, Elena Batz, Katerina Broflat, Alan Brodsky, Jacob Brunel, Bridget Brunk, Jiayi Bu, Valerie Bush, Ray Tsai, Yuang Sao, Nicholas Charles Capetta, Brian Carey, Valerie Cariello, Andrew Castellanos, Micaela Pacheco Ceballos, Catherine Joanne Chafin, Bo-Ray Kevin Chen, Kangdi Chung, Ian Cowcroft, Yaniv Cohen, Mario Louis Colella, Zachary Coles, Alexis Elizabeth Korn, Elizabeth Courtney, Natalie Jane Craig, Sarah Crawford, Melissa Bianca Cuevas, Paul Thomas Cutillo, Nadim Debus,
Mark Robert Daniels,
Brandy Darling, Lopo Alvarez de Castro Neto, Lambert de Gane, Maxime de Vaupierre, David Marshall Dennis, Hannah Dennis, Neve Denny, Marina Fujita Dixon, Chien Rong Ding, Isatu Juf, David Reed Dobell, Paul Dodson, Shaw Jun Dong, Jamie Dorner, Adam Dubard, Mark Dubbs, Andrew Duggins, Alperin Aiken, Allison Enk, Esther Feng, Xingyo Feng, Eric Feinberg, Zixuan Feng, Nicholas Livingston Fernandez, Alex Brandao Faraz, Tracy Fung, Abigail Isabella Furlong, Matthew Gandolfo, Maimuna Gassama, Mary Jane Holland Jeffs, Allison Gentry, Elisha Mary George, Lucy Grathwall, Elise Green, Natalie Grover,
Theodore Gedry III, Alex Haig, Graham Thurston Hallett, Bo Chen Han, Elza Harb, Alexander Hardin, Xian He, Brad Aber, Caitlin Costello, Victoria Hill, John Hiller, Chloe Height, Andrew Ho, John Hoagland, Siwan Hu, Yiming Hu, Amanda Hua, Hayden Hubbard, Yubin Ha, Arisha Irfan, Christian Philip Jacobson, Maxine Jacobson, Scarlett Kathy Halding, Kimberly Jasmine, Xinyuan Ji, Yue Jiang, Charles Austin Johnson III, Matthew Jones, Philku Kang, Daniel Kaplan, Arjun Kaushik, Joshua Stephen Kelly, Alexander Kessler, Bisma Khan, Gregory Francis Kist, Suzy Songok Ko, Katrina Kofud Vestagal, Kurt Kostew, Joshua Kowalczyk, Christian David Kuzdak, Chunwai Veronica Lai, Zhao Lanbiao, Jonah Langan Marmer, Emily Larkin, Jacob LaRochelle, Charles Laurie, Benjamin Leatherwood, Benjamin Lee, Bongha Lee, Christina Yerim Lee, Jiwan Lee, Jungju Lee, Karen Shinsa Lee, Mingja Lee, Nianpu Lee, Xiang Li, Shia-sun Li, Sheer Li, Zhangping Ling, Yi Xiao Liu, Yuan Yuan Liu, Taylor Loeb, Shu Yi Long, Sarah Helene Lawson, Michael Lois, Jiani Liu, Laura Leakin, Rong Rong Law, Zhe Xiao Law, Hao Liu, Logan Ma, Ziyi Ma, Connor Emerson Mackenzie, Mark Cortadellas Mancini, Graciela Cristina Marino, William Marshall Jr., Alexandra Mayer, Gavin Hoyt McGovern, Tucker McGound, David Alejandro Mejia, Saylene Melem, Howard Linghao Mung, Mejika Pallavi Minan, Isabel Migoya Irizo, Peter Jordan Mills, Zoe Rebecca Mize, Matthew Monteverde, Jenna Morgenstern Gaines, Yelmer Nachtehal, Rikianarshi Ahrashidinta Nahramanik Wihrantoputri, Olivia Negus, Volodymyr Nazplek, Sabrina Andy Newton, John Nguyen, Samantha Nibali, Raisa Oblitas, Christopher Andrew Olivares, William Orr, Moritz Osteruber, Zubeida Oisel, Nicholas Palm, Ranjani Parthasarathi, Alok Anand Patel, Hayden James Paulson, Ryan Pettit, Sarah Pham, Alec Ferris, Alexandria Caprice Polk, Brian Popula, Chazelle Povedano, Jacob Evans Powell, Emily Shiborowski, William Charles Putzier, Lucia Ratter, Thomas Adrian Ramage, Shreya Rengarajan, Emma Riley, Anthony Rini, Ibrahim Rivera, Yushe Rizvi, Chen Rong, Eileen Roos, Michaela Ross, Camille Elise Sachs, Potsatone Sangualoin, Nicolette Salazar, Joseph Salvia, Allison Sands, Emma Page Sarfiti, Zoya Satar, Sydney Scarlata, Jennifer Sivia Schaefer, Isadora Marafino Schaller, Hayoung So, Marissa Shannon, Sara Sharif, Tian Tian Shi, Yi Shi, Zuhan Shi, Connor Shine, Oluwasimidele Omodawalola Shonibade, Derby Sin, Joseph Skeps, Benjamin Smith, Natalie Smith, Brett Solomine, Ishun Song, Yuhan Song, Fatu Imani So, Markus Karl Friedrich Specht, Brian Steiner, Zoe Strauss, Hailu Su, Elena Ray Sablet, Jin Sun, Ming Sun, Shin Tan, Randall Lee Telfer Jr., Bemnet Tesfaye, Lindsay Thill, Aaron Thomas, Jared Andrew Thompson, Alethea Tilford, Ishan Shankar Tiwari, Mariko Togashi, Jesus Adrian Tobalin, Colin Trotter, Hong San, Alessandra Tyler, Bianca Uribe, Alessandra Utrilla, Victoria Vardanega, Manisha Vepa, Francis Veris. Margot Jacqueline Vickers. Emma Christine Armane Vitali. Jiaqi Wang. Junliang Wang. Ruoshu Wang. Elin Wang. Isaac Warren. Lindsay Washington. Ashley Wax. Michael Wiener. Catherine Wernke. Jenna Wichterman. Marissa Weiland. Samuel Wilkins. Emily Elizabeth Williams. Cameron Wilson. Elizabeth Denazy Wilson. Robert Ross Wilson. Tana Wise. Chenyu Wu. Kevin Wu. Zhengyu Wu. Jingcheng Yu. Tianrei Yu. Travis Zano. Aoyuan Zhang. Jingyan Zhang. Shishui Zhang. Shuhan Zhang. Changjun Zhao. Chen Zhe. Dan Zheng. Zhenyu Zhong. Haofeng Zhou. Mo Zhou. Yizhen Zhou. Zijin Zhou. Yashin Zhu. Ushi Zhu. Renata Cili Montero. Aaron Benjamin Zorman. It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Master of International Public Policy. Timothy Anderlonis. Brian Anderson Jr. John Eric Anderson. Sean Andrews. John Michael Asienzo Jr. Rowan Ashby. John Patrick Boehm. Brian Matthew Boyle. Chad K. Brinton. Sheldon Brodell. Matthew Kane. Christopher Campbell. Gregory Campisi. Alexander Chernushin. Sean Cho. Daekwang Choi. James Maximilian Colligan, James Shulock, Daniel Elby, Kevin Epstein, Andrew Faulkner, Brittany Fraser, Margaret Frist, Tayer Yandor, Oscar Gilroy, Craig Andrew Georges, Sarah Goudreau, Robert Green, Kenneth Groslin III, Joe Hironaka, Matthew Allen Hughes, Joshua Hunt, Saqib Hayat Khan, Jacob Thomas Jans, Jacqueline Kasuya, Ryujin Kim, Clara Crow, Jordan Tyler Landry, Roz Anderson Larry, Joseph Patrick Lennon, Dmitry Leontiev, Nicholas Lucania, Stephanie Mafrisi, Michael Mariner, Craig Timothy Meekins, Daisuke Nawa, Mina Newsom, Kyung Oh, James Pantelakis, Semi Pasha, Andres Felipe Pasmin, Anthony Drew Pearson, Barbara Sorrell Pete, Eduardo Picaeva, Thomas George Pledger, Adam Ryfin, William Russo, Evan Ryan, Zachary Schaefer, Luke Schiedermeyer, Thomas Smith, David Song, Dana Starkey, Brandon Starling, John Gerald Tanzioko, Stephen Thompson, Kojiro Donosaki, Hajime Toyofuku, Nathan Tribble, Joseph Wilhelm, Alexander Wright, Andrew Zaccardi. It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Master of Arts in International Economics and Finance. Su-Ray Chen, Yu Gao, Julia Aurelia Gloss, John Green, Reina Horiguchi, Elizabeth Hozinski, John Jacobs, Elena Jalagonia, Senyoung Kim, Samantha Laufer, Liam Miles Masterson, Didintle Bujosi Morule, Yue Ni, Ilan Pan, Paulina Gabrielle Parsons, Chungyu Peng, Roy Randon, Abdur Rahman Sajid, Henry Salem, Suning Shen, Zyran Shen, Aaron Joel Umberson Steicher, Tianxin Sun, Maxwell Tobin, Ying Yang, Peiyue Zhang, Ruijia Zhang, Hongyu Zhong, Xiaoyu Zhou, Yuzhe Zhu, Zizhu Zhu. It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Master of Arts in Global Policy. Stephen Andros, Laureano Bentancur, Gwendolyn Chen, Stephen Chukwuma, V. Gerard Comizio, Amari Gabrielle Dujour, Ian Golden, Michael Hebb, Gregory Lewis, Miranda Margowski, Elvira Mendez, Antonella Novali, Anthony Robinson, Kenneth Bridger Roy, Kaylee Scholl, Stephanie Ann Suber, Yolanda Catalina Torres Triana, Rachel Dean Wilson. It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Doctor of International Affairs. Min Chang, dissertation title, The Relevance of Human Rights Law in Climate Change Litigation. Nathaniel Daly, dissertation title, An International Space Reference Architecture for Socio-Technological Transformative Change and Influencing Positive Behavioral Norms in Space Use. Christopher Dielman, dissertation title, On Free Riders and Sovereign Default, The Rise of Non-Traditional Bilateral Lenders and the Resulting Challenges to International Debt Renegotiations. Jino Ham. Dissertation title, The Chosen Hackers, North Korea's Unlikely Ascent to a Global Cyber Threat Actor. Kendra Vessels Harkins. Dissertation title, Russia's Reach, Why Africa Matters to the Kremlin and Geopolitical Implications for the United States and Great Power Competition. Tao Lin. Dissertation title, Peace in the Taiwan Strait, The Triangular Relationship Among the United States, Taiwan, and China. Paul Lyons. Dissertation title, Winning Without Warring, The Geostrategic Implications of China's Foreign Direct Investments on Southeast Asia and South China Sea Sovereignty Disputes. Howard Wang. Dissertation title, Chinese Maritime Transformation and Sea Power, A Net Assessment. It is my pleasure to now present the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy. Jeffrey Allen. Dissertation title, Verboten, Essays on Targeted Trade Sanctions and U.S. Stakeholders. Andrew Peake. Dissertation title, On the Effective Use of Proxy Warfare. Alvin Bradley Potter. Dissertation title, Mars at Twilight, Leaders, Ideas, and Terminating American Military Interventions. Andrew Rise. Dissertation title, When Bad Policy is Good Politics, The Political Economy of Macro-Prudential Policy. Stephanie Sweet. Dissertation title, The Not-So-Hidden Economy of Uganda, How Geospatial Analytics Uncovers Tax Evasion. Please join me in congratulating all of our graduates.
Greetings from Nanjing to everyone in the wider SAIS community, whether you're in Washington or Bologna or any number of other places around the world. Events have tested us, but we've also been drawn closer together in new ways. So my warmest congratulations to you all as you go forth to do yet more amazing things.
Buongiorno, class of 2021. On behalf of SAIS Europe, let me congratulate you on your grand accomplishment, which you achieved under the most difficult of circumstances with grace, determination, and hard work. I know that you will go on to do great things regardless of the career track you choose, and that you will make us all proud at SAIS. Bolognesi, we look forward to seeing you back in Bologna soon. Un caro abbraccio.
Congratulations to our newest SAIS graduates, not least for the resilience and perseverance you've shown over the past year.
You've spent your time at SAIS asking all the right questions. You've even given some terrific answers. Now it's time to put those answers into practice.
During your time with us, you have learned things and met people that you'll draw upon throughout your life.
Teaching and learning together keeps the flame of hope and a better future alive.
It has given you the grit, it's given you the experience, it's given you the frame of reference, it's given you the calluses that you need to succeed under the most adverse career or other types of conditions that you're going to face.
And you're ready to go out there and seize opportunities in a new world.
The only way from here is up. You, clearly, are on a roll. And to SAIS Women Lead graduates, you are unstoppable.
From the pandemic to rebuilding the global economy, this is a moment that calls for SAIS leaders.
I'm sure it's been difficult for everyone personally and academically, but you've persevered, and now you're graduates.
Now you're going to be meeting two kinds of people. The first type is the unknowing, and they'll say to you, "How'd you like Baltimore?" And then the second type will be the knowing, and they'll say, "You graduated from SAIS? Congratulations, you're hired."
You all are going to write the next chapter. And having seen you in action, I have a lot of confidence in how it will turn out.
It's been a great pleasure getting to know you, and it'll be an even greater one watching what you go do in the world.
I'll miss seeing your faces and having you and your inquisitive minds in my classrooms. I know the world will be a better place with your critical minds ready to tackle the problems of our day.
We're very proud of your accomplishments this year, and we hope you are too. And after this, there are certainly no challenges that you can't overcome.
So let me draw on the wisdom of Calvin and Hobbes, the cartoon characters, and do what they would do, and reach out to you and give you each a big hug.
We're all very proud of you and wish you the best as you embark on your careers.
We are so proud of everything you've done, both in and out of the classroom.
And now get out there and do yourselves proud.
And we wish you the very best for every year to come.
مبروك لطلاب 2021 وبالتوفيق إن شاء الله نلتقي في بولونيا.
Many congratulations to the amazing class of 2021.
Congratulations to the class of 2021.
Do us proud.
Congratulations, felicitations, felicidades, et parabéns.
Congratulations, and I could not be prouder.
Congratulations on your hard work and deep thinking.
We are all proud of you.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
Felicidades, class of 2021.
Congratulations on my behalf and on behalf of all 11 of our international law faculty members.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next alumni reunion.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
As we come to the end of our program and our graduates end their time at SAIS, I want to leave you with a few thoughts. We've been through a lot these past 2 years. It has been my privilege to lead this institution through some of the most difficult times in its history, but also some of the most promising. We've introduced new degrees, online education, new professorships, and most importantly, a new curriculum to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Our finances are solid, and we are organized for success. But in the end, what really matters is you, our graduates. You are conclusive evidence of what this school is and can be. And your will to make the world a better place is not only what keeps us going, it's why we exist. These have been tough times, but as an institution, we've come out stronger for it. I hope you feel that way as well about your own experience. But most importantly, stay well and be of good cheer. Congratulations. Go forth and change the world.
Fellow classmates,
We accept the challenge of tackling today's most critical issues.
This is our time. Now is our moment.
let's take action.
Prenons les mesures.
함께 행동해요.
이천히 야리마쇼. يلا شدوا الهمة.
Haisa luam accione. 一起行动吧.
Tomemos acción.
Congratulations, class of 2021.